Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Rise with Reis. Today, I have Reis back with me to help talk about how to elevate your true self so you can attract your highest match. Today, we're going to talk about the idea of what makes you you. Have you ever even thought of that question? So, Reis, I'm going to open this straight up. What makes you you?
So, Dr. Harmon, it was a great question. And I feel it's really about being in touch with your authentic self. Now, when we talk about being authentic, we talk about actually being true to who you are. And I feel a lot of us, we try and conform to social expectations, to our environment, we try and adapt around us. And it's really understanding how to get to know yourself. From my personal journey, I had to go along to build a relationship with myself. And it was really, really hard. So there was a point in my life where I came out of a very destructive, traumatic relationship. It was very abusive. And, the best thing that happened was that he just got up and walked out on me one day. And I sat with myself and I realized I didn't know myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have any real interest. I was a single mom and I had nothing that I felt that was me. And it really hit me like a huge sledgehammer, this enormous kind of overwhelming sense of not really knowing who I was. So this then I went on to embark on a journey of finding myself. So I signed up to many different college courses and I started trying to seek social groups. I had no friends. I really just surrounded myself with this one person at the time and I had nothing. So I had to really open up to that relationship within me rather than looking for somebody else to fill that void. So this was like enormous for me when I got to that realization. As I said, it was like being hit with a sledgehammer that actually I didn't know who I was and I really didn't love who I was as well. So I knew that I was going to change it because I'd come from this toxic place of being very vulnerable, being very, very insecure. I knew that I needed to change those qualities within me to love who I was, to feel more secure, and to have this self-acceptance that I so desperately craved. So I knew that I was only going to be able to find that by myself. So I wanted to go on this journey, and I did. And when you start really aligning to that higher thought, to that really putting that highest intention out there, then you start attracting people in, you start attracting experiences in. And it's so powerful when you do align yourself. And it's really being open to this. And, I went on a real journey of navigating many different things, which weren't for me, but eventually building myself up and getting more qualifications and nurturing my soul and, actually letting go of what I felt the expectations were of me. Now, remember, I just said that I was a single mum. And there was a lot of judgment on young single mums. And, so to me, I really struggled with how I felt that people should see me, how I should gain my worth and how the world should accept me. And I really knew that I had to let go of this concept. I knew that I had to let go of what all the external world and the conditioning around me and my environment had on me and to actually find my authentic self. So this was a really powerful journey. And I've got to say, it's been a really beautiful journey as well, of finding myself. And this is how I found my spiritual groups, my people, and they align with you. And you never stop growing throughout these experiences. But it's really, really important to stay true to loving you. And this is finding your self-worth.
Yeah. And one of the things I think that people have a problem with, especially in the twin flame journey, is they tend to look outside of themselves for love, obviously, but not only that, they don't want to always sit with themselves. They don't always want to feel their emotions. They don't want to see things that need to come up to be felt, to identify with, to release that. And part of that runner chaser dynamic comes from the idea that you're truly running from yourself when you can't see, feel, to heal those wounds that are inside of you, because the twin flame is really just triggering what already is inside of you that needs to be addressed, needs to be acknowledged, needs to be heard, needs to be felt. And so one of the things, I was talking to a new neighbor of mine, which, by the way, I am in Sedona officially, and we had a little bit of a break because Reis and Jonathan had their 13th anniversary. No, 13th, right?
11th.
11th.
Yeah, 11th.
Okay.
12 years together, 11-year anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I got confused on the 12 together. Okay. So you had your 11th anniversary, and I was in the process of moving to Sedona over the last couple weeks between the two of us. So we took a couple week break on our Rise with Reis. And if you're just joining us, make sure to say hello. Let us know what you're doing to discover and realize and recognize who you are at the core, because what we're talking about today is how most people don't know how to identify or know who they truly are. And where I was going with this just now is they don't want to be still long enough to get to know yourself. They want to focus on what's outside of them. They want to focus on the love that, that you can only find within. And so when you mentioned a piece of this coming into acceptance, and so what I was about to say was, I met a new neighbor that's downstairs, which, by the way, the funny thing is we're from the same surrounding suburbs of St. Louis. She moved in 7 weeks prior, and she's below me and I'm above her. And like, we came from virtually the same backyards in the same city. So that's, come all the way to Sedona to, run into each other here. Isn't that funny? And not only run into each other, but be neighbors. But we were talking about how you go through things that you've experienced, different letting go, working through what you need to work through, and then you go through it again. And at some point you feel like, well, why am I going through this again? Because I went through this over and over and over again. And she made the comment, she wanted to just make sure that she's going to attend the retreat coming up. And she's like, I want to put all this out there because I want to make sure that I address everything to just clean it up. And I said, well, here's the thing. Sometimes the revisit is just for you to have an opportunity to see it this time from a higher perspective that allows you to actually accept who you are. And then when you accept who you are and you're no longer judging it, then the things you're judging will dissolve. But until you come into the acceptance of that within yourself, you're going to keep repeating these cycles until you learn how to truly love you and all sides of you for where you are and who you are. And that's why it's all the more reason to make sure that you know who you are. And one of the things I like, to ask people the question, like in a session or, any of the content that's created. So tonight, I just want you to kind of close your eyes and just really tune into your heart for a moment and just ask yourself from the higher self, who am I? And I'm going to have you do that right now. I just want you to just share with me what comes through for you. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Who am I? I am a beautiful beacon of light. I guide and shine my awareness and my light. I'm powerful. I am loved. I am at one with myself. I'm at peace.
That's beautiful. Could you see a shift in energy? Anyone watching this?
I can feel it.
Yeah, I can feel it too, right? Who connected to you is the point. Do you get it? If we don't, there's a difference in knowing what we're talking about and truly embodying it, going into the connection of connecting and aligning with that energy within, right? Which is what we just did. So again, for all that you've joined, we're talking about discovering who you are. Do you know who you are? And if you learn how to unravel the aspects of yourself that you can love and accept yourself for where you are, for who you are, exactly how you are in this given moment, without thinking you have to do anything to change who you are, to deserve love, to receive love. Because so many people on this twin flame journey, they think that I got to do the work and I got to do this and I got to do that. Until I get it done, I can't be with my twin flame. That's BS. And some level, it's true, but it's technically BS. Because the reason it's BS is because it's a sense of saying something's wrong with you to begin with. And that's where the toxicity of this starts to come in for people. And that's where people start getting hung up on the idea that the endless cycles and repetitive patterns and, things. The minute you stop resisting who you are and accept who you are, you will then come into this sense of accepting yourself, and then you're no longer judging. And then because you ever notice how what you judge or what you resist persist? So when you're not resisting who you are, and you're not projecting, and you're not like putting out in a perspective that something's wrong, then nothing's wrong and nothing happens. It's the contrast. So the contrast in what we see is what shows up, right? So if we're judging something, or we see something we don't want, and that's another thing her and I were talking about in our units of, for the neighbor, I was talking about the different types of washer and dryers that we got. It was a whole ordeal. I just posted on my personal page about the washer and dryer today, but brand new, but just like a whole cockpit thing. It plays music and all kinds of stuff to you. And, but mine being different than hers, and how I didn't care that I'd rather have the different type to have gotten something else, but she wanted more what I got. And it's like, you get the opposite of what you truly want when you really focus on what you want, and then it becomes separate from you. See? Down to a washer and dryer. Right?
Absolutely.
And I didn't care, and I kind of got the upgraded version, but then I actually wanted the space that the smaller version would have like created for me. So or the doors back on. I had to take the doors off to get it in because it was larger. But you see what I mean? Whatever you like, we wanted opposite things, and I got what she wanted, she got what I wanted. So
I love that. I love what you said about needing the smaller space to fit it in as well. So, oh God, yeah,
hey,
and that's exactly it.
Thanks for joining. I just had to say this really quick. David's been a really regular, and he's driving home from work, and we're back. So welcome, David.
Hi, David. Yeah, I mean, what you project out there, you do attract the opposite of, and what you're saying about becoming separate as well. And this is so true. And it's really going within and going still within, and finding the center of who you are and being really present in the day-to-day activities that you do, and removing yourself from that and actually finding that sense of calm and that sense of peace. I absolutely love what you just made me do. Honestly, I was tingling. I had goosebumps, and it just immediately raised my vibration straight up and helped me connect with myself, and really helped me connect with who I am. And I feel doing something like that every single day is so powerful and so beneficial. Just when you wake up in the morning, just connect with yourself and really set yourself up. And I talk about obviously looking at grounding yourself before you go out, and calling your angelic team in, or calling your highest guides in. Get your team in there, start your communication, and start communicating with yourself, and start talking to yourself, and start receiving that innate wisdom and that knowledge that everybody has. You all have it. So access it and really tap into that highest version of yourself, because it's there all the time. We're not separate from it. We haven't got a separate entity from us. We are it. We have embodied it. So it's really aligning yourself and knowing that actually you are part of this God consciousness. You are it. You are a beautiful, loving, divine being. And it's about accessing that and opening our heart up to that love in our heart, and really opening that wide open. So just getting up in the day and just saying, I'm really open to love, really opening to loving myself right now, and really accepting the love that comes in, because I feel that this is huge as well. How many of us turn down things? How many of us say no? How many of us go, no, no, no? And we shut off self-love. We shut off. It's not just how we form the relationship, it's how we go out into the world and accept that relationship, and accept that being a part of us, and allowing others to love us, and allowing ourselves to feel love. And that's really huge, because a lot of us, we don't feel ourselves worthy of that. And we don't feel ourselves worthy of accepting help, or people stepping in and making our life easier. So it's really being open to shifting that perspective and shifting yourself into an awareness where actually, in order to embody the full force of love within me, let me be open to really accepting love. Because a lot of us say we want it and we need it and we feel it, but how many of us actually really put that into action every single day? So actually what I'm saying to everybody is, let's go out, let's go and share in our love, and allow that love to come in. And instead of turning things down, instead of actually people pleasing, or doing these these traits that we have. Use it, use your emotions, use everything as almost like a compass to guide you on your day-to-day journey. Allow yourself to feel, am I resisting this right now? As Dr. Harmony said, we need to get out of our way sometimes, don't we? We need to really shift out of our way, and we can create that blockage in order to stop ourselves growing and accepting that love. So really be open to that, say yes, allow that help to step in. And what we're saying about attracting it in, we can shift our frequency, because when we actually go into this place of going, no, I'm not worthy, or no, whatever it is that you're refusing that love to come in, you're actually limiting every experience and every possibility of you growing and building different relationships and attracting different experiences in. So I'm going to just say this and put this out there. As of today, open your heart and shine and go out there and accept that love right in and be open to it.
Yeah. And, that's a good point. It's a choice. Right? So everything in life is a choice. And when you wake up, what do you choose to experience? What do you want to experience? And so when it comes to choice, and we're talking here tonight about who am I? Who are you? Right? So who do you choose to be? Who do you want to be? Right? And if you don't know your values, your desires, and through the heart, what do I want from a heart-centered place? What do I want to experience? What do I want to my life to look like? What do I want my partner to look like? What do I want my relationship to look like? That creates imagery. I was talking to a really beautiful couple yesterday, getting some just different things I was buying. And so we were talking about the this idea of I'm trying to put this into words because it's a really deep concept. But when you when you're going through change, and in the change, you're going through this cocoon aspect and you're transforming, right? And you're coming from like, the worm, caterpillar to the butterfly, right? That is the alchemy, because, when it comes through transformation, that is like external change. But transmutation is the internal change that it takes to change from the inside out. And so they're moving. This is why I'm saying this. Just like, shed everything, get rid of everything. You do it over and over and over. So this is the point that I'm getting with that is we have multiple like identities. We have multiple versions of ourselves, and we've got to be willing to let go of even things in our space. That's the thing about me moving to Sedona. I ended up coming here with nothing but a Jeep full of stuff that literally was my entire physical like property, nothing but what will fit in a Jeep. Now, granted, we got a lot of stuff in there, like a lot of stuff, but there were things that were useful that I wanted to keep that I have to rebuy. And we're like, what's the point? But the point was, it costs more to get it here than it would to get new.
Yeah.
So, we're talking like even just down to hangers, and, like not just normal hangers, had the wooden hangers. So, when we go through these cycles and evolution of multiple versions of ourselves, we have to be willing to let go and let go and let go. Like an evolution is always about letting go and always about change. And so when it comes to knowing who you are, you need to learn how to understand that you are an evolving being living in the spirit, this human dimension. And so in the process of that, you are the co-creator. And so being the co-creator, instead of sitting back and letting life go by and not getting to know who you are, even better, get to know who you want to be. is what the point I'm saying in this. I know that was a lot of hoopla around the block, but it's how it was coming out. So hopefully that made sense. But yeah. And what it would tell you is that what we're talking about in this, who am I, of not even just who I am now, but who do I want to be and who do I choose to be, that requires you to step into alignment with thoughts, feelings, actions of that future version that you want to actualize and embody in this moment. And so what would even be better is if you take a look at who that is. Where does that person live? And, you know, literally like research, get, you know, the places, watch YouTube videos on where that place is and what, you know, what's offered there. Maybe go visit if you can to make it even more real, right? And this is how we actualize it, because then we stop just hoping, wishing, waiting, right? We're literally acting out in a daily life in ourself, becoming that version. At the same time, our life is mirroring it, and then we're living what we desire in our reality. And I just got to say, you know, that's what I've been doing to be here to Sedona. And even though I didn't know it was going to be Sedona until literally last minute, like 5 weeks ago, and here I am living here now, which is so surreal, especially that Bell Rock is in the backyard. If you're not familiar with Bell Rock, it's one of the vortexes, the biggest, to me, is my favorite rock that they have here in Sedona, of, you know, the statue. You should look it up. It's really cool. I'll be doing lots of events here, lots of things going on. And literally, that's another thing I want to say about that, because this is one of the things I've undergone. And I know you have too, Reis, through this journey of, and then our reality is changing. But you left UK and went to Australia. You know, I left the Midwest, came to Southwest. These things that from your old version that won't fit, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't even work to try to continue that version. And on top of that, like, this whole change for me was already coming, but like represents me stepping into my femininity. And even, you know, there were things about the masculinity of it that required to get here. But like, even being here, like, I just know that I can feel like I'm not the same person that left St. Louis. You know, you're not the same person that left UK. And that's when you're also faced with things. That's the other key in this about who you are. When you're faced with these things that are maybe look like challenges, and you've been used to doing them a certain way, and now all of a sudden you're somebody different, and you have to figure out how to operate and do something a new way, the same stuff, right? Have you been through that? Tell me a little bit about what your experience with that.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. You know what you're saying about shifting? We literally came over here with 3 suitcases, and then we had to wait for, you know, our lives in 20 boxes 3 months later. And it was huge, because I stepped out of my life into this new life, and I had to put that in action. We weren't ready for it. I don't think you're ever really ready for it until you're in it, actually doing it. So we stepped in and did it, and it's just so strange, because you are completely shedding everything. You know, I've worked and so hard and slaved away at so many things back in the UK, and to feel completely free of that, it was like being unshackled. It was almost like this freedom of finally being able to breathe, and finally being able to connect with who I am, being totally open to a whole new environment. I mean, the energy is so very high in Australia. It's really beautiful here. And actually being around the nature and everything around, everything is just incredible. Now, we've been planning this for like 18 months. So we thought we would be really, really super ready. But actually the whole experience, it was incredibly emotionally exhausting, I would say, doing this. However, the shift and the growth that came in straight away was incredible. When you actually take this leap of faith, when you actually put it in action, the growth is incredible. When you break down those blockages and remove those blockages, before I left, so many people saying, oh, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. Well, still do it. You've still got time to do it. So make those changes. Yeah, actually finding new things, different ways. We talked a lot about this, didn't we, Dr. Harmy? That actually the old way doesn't work anymore. That actually we have to be open to a whole new way coming in, that getting to know yourself on a whole new different level, as we said, from a higher version of ourselves, is the next step, is that next step. So all I can say is, step into it, be open to it, create that change. Don't be afraid of it. A lot of us fear it, and we can place fear around us, and that can be us, stop us from actually moving forward into our higher self. So just, really start being open to that. And I've got to say, the relationship that I'm building with myself is absolutely incredible. But it's about recognizing how we can let go of our egoic niggles and all these things that say, oh, well, this should be like this, or this should be like that. Actually, we've got everything we asked for. We've got more family time together, more quality time together. I'm seeing my twin flame more and more, and I'm spending more time with my little one, and I'm doing so much more self-development, and I've stepped fully into my purpose. To me, this is everything that I wanted. So it's really recognizing how we've got to really listen to ourselves, listen to that lower self, and not allow it to seep in and self-sabotage anything, but really stay connected to actually your highest intentions as to why you're here and what you're doing this for, and being really true to that. So
yeah, and that's a good point, that when we want something, we ask for it, and then the change comes that we have to go through to get it or become it. And then that's when it's the true test of letting go, right? And like, I just used that analogy. It was so simple, but so true. Like, I mean, I let go of a lot of stuff, and one of the hardest things I had to let go of was my wooden hangers. I'm like, I want my wooden hangers. So I ordered a box of 80. They'll be here in a couple of days.
I
But
love that.
so let's take some questions, and let's take a look at some comments. And just if anybody's joining real quick, this is Rise with Reis. We are back here, taking a couple weeks off between my move to Sedona and Reis and her twin flame Jonathan's wedding anniversary. And now we're back, and we're back on track. And I will say something that's interesting for me. I went back 2 hours, so my timeline's a little bit different than it was. So today was like, oh my gosh, today's a show. I have to remember, because we took 2 weeks off, and I have to remember to show up on time, because
And we went forward an hour yesterday. So
we did. Okay. Oh, wow. So, but anyway, this is a weekly show that Reis and I comes together, that's all about Rise with Reis, meaning help elevate your true self so that you can attract your highest match, your mirrored version of you, your twin flame, your, divine partner. And to be able to do that, really looking deep within of who you are. And that way, if you know who you are, that's going to give you a better idea of who you want to be with, right? So be sure to say hello, ask any questions. Let's take some comments here. Let's see. I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay, Jeremiah, I've got to say, I love when you come up, because you're always so profound with everything that you say. So Jeremiah said, gotta love who you are no matter what. Otherwise, it no longer is unconditional love. To love yourself unconditionally is the beginning of you being able to identify with who you are, and being able to love others without them having to think you need to change them. But likewise, you have to be careful not to allow others to think they have the right to change you either. That's a good point. My parents always reminded me, you are good enough. Yeah, that's such a good point, isn't it? About actually not allowing others to change you, and trying to conform to that social conditioning, and which is what a lot of us do.
Or not to change, to be accepted. That's what a lot of people do in the journey. They try to change for acceptance of what that they think that person wants. So, all right, very good. Okay. Heidi, bless you for sharing. Lovely enlightened ladies. I might sign up for your healing session on Wednesday. Okay, perfect. And which how's my vegetarian journey going? I got to tell you, it's gotten better since I've even moved, with the vibration of everything around. I'm pretty close to just having my egg whites and turkey bacon in the morning, and that's it. Other than every once in a while, if I go somewhere special, and that hasn't been because I'm not even going around family. I was going around family, and every once in a while I'd have a little something that I wouldn't normally have. before I left, I had to have a hamburger a couple times to ground me because there was so much going on. I needed the energy because it was getting so depleted. But since I've been to Sedona, I've only had my egg whites and turkey bacon in the morning, and that's been going good. And so it's not even vegetarian, so it's vegan. I was already pretty much dairy free and gluten free and all of that for many years already anyway. So it's been just the shift in the blood sugar and being really consistent with, part of it was getting enough protein for me based on being on the go constantly with all the move. But thank you so much, Heidi, for asking. So lovely to have you here. And one of the things I do want to say we didn't say was just to remind everybody that if you've not got plugged into the Perfect Inner Work Challenge, which is technically saying that you accept who you are, where you are, without feeling like you have to keep doing all the work, then make sure to get plugged into that Inner Work Challenge that Reis and I did. That is a free 5-day challenge. You can sign up for that in the link above or below. Also, make sure to get plugged into the Facebook group. I'm gonna let you share a little bit about what you offer over there, Reis, on a weekly basis, because I know you got some phenomenal things going on in our Facebook group.
Oh, we've got some great content. So every week I show up and do a weekly reading and a forecast just to help you align so you know what to work on. I've got a really exciting interview on Thursday with a twin flame couple, Robert and Evie. Ooh. So we've got interviews, we have content going on. Honestly, it's a group where you can come and connect and feel safe. It's such a nurturing environment. So please, please, please click on the link, come and join us, come and say hi. We are waiting there with open arms, and it is just full of content all the time. So working on yourself, stepping into that awareness, loving who you are. Myself, Dr. Harmony, Jeremiah, we're all in there welcoming you. And please, please, please just get plugged in. It's awesome.
Awesome. And I want to thank Reis and Jonathan, her twin flame, because they are really stepping into their purpose fully by doing this. And Reis is so passionate about showing up and inspiring others and helping others find hope in their journey, because that's what they have found together. And she's just so passionate about it. So make sure to check out the content in the Facebook group, because she even has more content coming that she wants to share. She was just sharing with me before we got on here of like, you know, I had so many ideas, and, you know, she's so lit up about really inspiring and helping people, and having her on board to help with that has been amazing. So I wanted to acknowledge you and thank you for showing up in your purpose and letting your light shine, and having watched you and your twin flame come through this and come out the other side, sharing your light and giving others hope. That's, you know, making my hair stand up right now. So thank you. Thank you.
Do you know, you're making my hair stand up, but you are my mirror. So everything you're saying is who you are. This is so, you make me feel very emotional.
Know, right?
Yeah, it's so wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Harmony, and for your light sharing and showing up and aligning, and all the work that you do with your flame. It's just so powerful. It's so, so powerful. Can you see how powerful this is, guys? This is amazing. Get plugged in.
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely from the heart, right? Okay, so we have Heidi again. Thanks for speaking about the transformation. You remember your beautiful ceremony video and your butterflies. Oh, yes, Heidi. That is really cool. That's an old video. I'm glad you remember that. I just have to say, well, she said butterfly dress whenever the transformational video where I did the dance for the goddess of transformation. But I just have to tell you what I thought you meant for a second, Heidi, was when I did the butterfly release. And I know you know what I'm talking about, Reis, because it's in like one of the online programs I've done where I was in Hawaii, and it just aligned with a rebirth I was doing. And I did this whole transformational rebirth of releasing the ceremony of this butterfly while I was in Hawaii. And it was very, very powerful. And I walked people through that, which is in the online course, which, by the way, if you're interested, Reis does a free clarity call. And what that does is it's going to share with you more about how you can help, how she can help you on one-on-one. And then what I'm talking about with the group program and the online courses come with it. And so if that's of interest, Ignite Your Inner Flame, that's something that you can jump on a free clarity call with Reis. And what I'm sharing is inside of that content. So Bonnie, hello, welcome. Let us know too where you're from, Bonnie. Great to have you here. And Bernice, hello, hello, hello. And we have Michelle. Hello. Thank you,
Oh,
ladies, so much.
beautiful. Everyone's showing
Thanks
up.
everyone for shining your light with us, spending your time with us. And we love and appreciate you so much. Hey, Dana, welcome, welcome, welcome. Big hugs, everyone. So, all right, we will be back now on Sundays. If you're just joining us, this is the Rise with Reis show that we're doing every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We took a couple weeks off. We're back, but it really is about elevating your true self so you can attract your highest match, step into true love, and to be able to actualize your life and love and your livelihood in such a way that you are living it out and not just wishing and wanting. Okay. So that's our goal, is to help you truly actualize and materialize and manifest what it is you desire and deserve. So we send you so much love, and we'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Bonnie. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, wait, we have a couple questions here really quick. Sorry. What happens when your twin flame passes away? Is my journey over? So, Michelle, actually, when one twin flame is on the other side, you actually are still energetically connected, and you actually can feel them more than you can in the physical 3D. It can be more painful at first, but the pain that you experience going through that experience of the emotion cracks your heart open to increase your emotional intelligence and expand your ability to feel. And the more pain you experience, the more pleasure you experience, so the more love you experience. So actually it increases the love vibration, which is where you meet your twin flame anyway.
Can I just add that you did a really lovely interview, Dr. Harmony, with a lady whose twin flame passed away, who's written a book recently. I can't remember her name, but you did an interview. It was on our group.
Yes. It's very good. Yes. Alyssa Hope. And her Hope from Heaven is her book. And if that's for you, Michelle, that's a good point. Go on Amazon, because I have a video on here where I interviewed her. It's under my interview playlist, so check that out, because in there you can listen to the interview of where her twin flame did pass away, and she wrote a book about it and how that became their purpose and their mission. And from there you can get the link. There's a link that takes you to get her book as well. But that would be a really good book for anyone that's experienced that. Okay. So, all right, you're in Utah. Okay, you lived in, oh, wow. Yes. Oh, that's so cool, Bonnie. You know, Creve Coeur stands for broken heart. And I'm loving Sedona, and I've only been here. It'll be a week tomorrow. Love, love, love. Thank you so much. And just so everyone knows, just kind of a side note, because we were about to exit here, but, we kind of got called into a few more things. I have so much coming here in Sedona that is going to be in-person stuff that, like, it's already blowing up, and I've already ran into people that I actually already have a one-on-one session with somebody, some things I'm doing. I'm going to be taking people and doing like trekking and transforming, like out into the vortexes. And if that interests you, let me know. I don't have my website content together for it, but I've got to get certain permits and certain things that are going on. But if you'd like to know more about that, you can let me know, because there is a lot coming with that, and it's really going to help people rebirth for sure. And let's see, Dana. Oh, wait, did I miss one? Okay, so you have a karmic twin flame and a kindred twin flame. It seems they both are past life and finished business. Have grown, and yet it's been exhausting and painful. So yes, so that is so true. So what I have found in what you're describing, when you say the karmic twin flame and the kindred twin flame, everything's a mirror of us. And the inner flame is literally coming into balance, that the world is our mirror. Even though we do technically have one person that becomes our, highest version of us, the highest match. Okay. But along the way, in today's energy, different than ever before, we can attract people that mirror us in an energetic way to keep us evolving and growing. And that's where sometimes someone will come along and it will mimic like a twin flame connection. And in that connection, you're clearing karma and past lives together. then sometimes you'll have somebody come along that's activating you to elevate you, to lift you, to help you evolve and expand, that keeps you growing, that's filling in the blanks to help you find you still while you're still becoming the one. And that's one of the things that had wrote a book that the premises of it was you become the one, you attract the one. And that is so painful, and it can be exhausting and it can be painful. But the goal, what we talked about at the beginning of this, is if you don't hold on of letting go of the change and you move with the change and you evolve with it, it becomes less exhausting and less painful.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. Okay. Why the relationship with your twin flame bring most elevated form of love, but at the same time, it's hurtful? Okay. So this is the emotional intelligence, Dana. The emotional intelligence has to do with like the polarities and the contrast of pain and pleasure, as an example. And so let's just say the darker the shadow, the greater the light, right? So the deeper the pain, the greater the pleasure. So you expand through this emotional awareness of your heart chakra that cracks it open basically and creates what I call a chalice, where it can never be filled with anything but what I call liquid love. Liquid love is the 5D connection of us and everything that keeps us filled and fulfilled through the sense of divine love. It's the way to divine love. And you have to crack open the heart to tap into the higher self, to make the heart chakra the root chakra of your being, so that you can now navigate your life from a higher state of being in a higher way. Do you want to add anything to any of this, Reis?
This is exactly where I was going to go with it. It is about really allowing yourself to go right into the depths of that emotion, though, not holding back. When we really fully let ourselves go and we allow ourselves to experience and embody the full force, no matter how painful it is, go straight into it so you can allow that growth to come, as Dr. Harmony was saying. So we tend to resist the pain, don't we? We tend to not want to go into it. We block ourselves, we hold ourselves down. So it's really being open to this. And whenever I have really broke open, when I've really cracked myself open, I've actually given thanks. I've given thanks of experiencing this emotion, of being in this human form and allowing myself to embody these feelings, no matter how painful, because the growth and the emotions they're a gift to us. They're something that is so beautiful. And it's again changing your perspective around that. So when I've been in the depths of pain, I feel like my heart has been pulled out. It is about really giving thanks and appreciating the growth and the emotions that are coming from this. So maybe that's just a different perspective that you could hold on to and to sit
That's
with.
beautiful. That's why we turn our pain into a purpose. Is like, I kind of that pain. So like Reis and I showing up here to help you guys and inspire you is us putting the pain we've went through into a purpose. And when you do that, that becomes like our gift back. So we receive gifts on a level that is indescribable by showing up and sharing our journey and the pain we've experienced and having it help other people. That makes it more worthwhile what you go through than not putting that pain into a purpose. When you sit there and stew in the pain and you don't use it for that sense of inspiration or, like you said, a gift, right, Reis? So if you don't put it into that gift and you don't see the gift out of it, then you continue cycles of karma, you continue cycles of pain. And until you see the gift in it, until you take it outside of you and into something that's going to feed you. See, like me showing up here feeds me, nurtures me, inspires me to know that I'm inspiring others. And so if you're not doing that, then you're just creating more pain and resistance. Hopefully that helps. All right. So love to know more about the Sedona events. Okay, Bonnie. Bonnie, can you either hear or like, could you just if you want to know more about the Sedona events, if you would email me at drharmony, Dr. Harmony at twinflameexpert.com. I can give you an update of that. And anyone else, if you even in a comment in the future, if you even put your information there, or just send me an email, drharmony, drharmony at twinflameexpert.com. I can keep you abreast of all the events that I'll be having in Sedona. That will be live events and one-on-one and private sessions and things like that. Okay. Let's see, dear Maya. So we turn our mess into our message, and that becomes a blessing to way more people than you can imagine. And that is so true. Like, woohoo. All right. So your answer brings more light to your soul. I'm seeing the blessing, and you are the one. Namaste. That's so true. And back to what we talked about for this episode, being like, who am I? Do you know yourself? You know, as we bring this back full circle, and we're looking at this pain, and we're looking at the pleasure, and we're looking at the love, and you take back this gift, you know, pull the aspects and the fragments of it together, right? So we have all these aspects. And that's the other thing about the question about the couple different reflections of different types of twin flame connections that you mentioned a bit ago. Not all one person can necessarily mirror to you what you need to see to collect your fragment aspects. So you're going to attract who you need to collect a part of you until you become whole and complete. And then that's where you meet your twin flame, in that space right there. Okay, perfect, Bunny. Definitely email me and I'll get you some stuff as soon as possible. Okay, I'm working on getting a web page together for the services and the content I'll be sharing for my Sedona events. Total amen to all of this. Heidi, you are amazing. Thank you so much, Heidi. I know you've been following me for years and years and years, and probably maybe since I started 8 years ago on the YouTube channel. It's been about 8 years. So, all right, everyone. Thank you for your time, your love, your sharing, and showing up with us. And make sure to check out all the content we've created for you in the links above and below. Make sure to get plugged into that Facebook group, and we will see you next Sunday for the next episode of Rise with Reis, where it's helping you elevate your true self so you can attract and magnify your highest match. We send you loads of love. See you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Bye for now.